Reports say that there are two teams that might try to take him away. Number 1, the San Antonio Spurs, and number 2, the Brooklyn Nets. The Nets being a cap space team, currently having roughly $37 million in cap space left, following them making the Julius Randle trade. That affected it, but they do have remaining cap space. So they could be a threat. They could outright sign him and wouldn't need the Lakers' help to do so. But that likely wouldn't be the case for San Antonio. Unlike Brooklyn, they do not have cap space. However, they do have the non-taxpayer mid-level exception, worth roughly $15 million next season and can be raised by 5% annually. So would that be enough to get him? Maybe, maybe not. I really don't think it would. If Rui would leave their team, I would imagine that it would be for more than what they would pay him, or what they did pay him, meaning $18 million per year. Coming off a 3-year, $54 million contract, I don't think he would leave their team for a lesser amount, barring the Lakers not even making an offer, which I don't see being a reality. I think they'll make him an offer, but he might leave if a different team would make a better offer, especially a team like San Antonio that obviously is very good and might only be one piece away. So that could be a real threat. Brooklyn could. I don't really see Rui Hachimura wanting to go there, but if he simply couldn't turn down the money, if they would offer him between $20-25 million per year, I guess he would probably think about it. He wouldn't be leaving for a winning situation. Going to Brooklyn, who is currently in the midst of a long-term rebuild, they would likely be signing him just for the purpose of later trading him to get more out of that trade value. Likely signing him with the intent to flip him at the trade deadline. So that's not really a guarantee for him. But for San Antonio, if they would offer him more than that, more than the $15 million non-taxpayer mid-level exception, they would have to do a sign and trade. Which at that point, the Lakers could at least get something back in return. And for that kind of trade, it would likely have to look something like Luke Kornet, then a minimum salary with him. Maybe a guy like Julian Champagnie. I kind of doubt they would go that route. Yes, they want a more true, bigger power forward, but do they really want to trade Champagnie? A guy that was absolutely key to their NBA Finals run, a very good 3-and-D wing, a very good rebounder, good defender, good three-point shooter. Would Rui be a big enough upgrade to justify trading him, and then their backup center? I really don't think he would. But apart from that, they really can't make a trade. They're obviously not going to trade Dylan Harper, they're not going to trade Stephon Castle, they're not going to trade Carter Bryant in return for Rui Hachimura. Their only disposable player would be Luke Kornet. And again, if they're going to make the money work, they would have to throw in a minimum contract with him. And the only other minimum contract they have does happen to be Champagnie. So in my opinion, unless Rui Hachimura would take a discount, like again the $15 million non-taxpayer mid-level exception, that would be the only way I could see this one happening. I don't think they would make a sign and trade. They don't have the cap space to take him back through a sign and trade, and I simply don't see it being a real possibility if they wouldn't give up Champagnie, and probably not going to happen again. I mean, I guess they could try and offer Keldon Johnson, but I really hope the Lakers wouldn't do that. Yes, he might be the reigning sixth man of the year, but I'm really not a big fan of him. Not very efficient, at least not compared to Rui. Not a great defender. Not really great at any one thing on the court. Can be a productive scoring option at times and can sometimes be a pretty good three-point shooter. But he's not a 3-and-D wing. And in my opinion, I wouldn't make that sign and trade. If they need the Lakers' help, I'm not helping them if I'm getting back Keldon Johnson. I would want Julian Champagnie, or we're not going to make a sign and trade. But regardless, again according to that report, both the San Antonio Spurs and the Brooklyn Nets do appear to be looming in the Rui Hachimura free agency hunt. So if the Lakers don't retain him, if they don't give him an offer, if they renounce his cap hold and simply have to let him walk, then he likely could be going to either Brooklyn or San Antonio. But with that in mind, the final update is for Marcus Smart, and according to a new report, the Houston Rockets could once again be a threat to seal away a Lakers free agent. Last summer they stole away Dorian Finney-Smith, which actually turned out to be a good thing for the Lakers. Him leaving actually helped them net Marcus Smart and DeAndre Ayton, both of which helped play Dorian Finney-Smith, who unfortunately fell off a cliff. I like Finney-Smith, but that really is the reality here. Him leaving actually got them Marcus Smart. And well, apparently the Rockets want to run it back, trying to take away another Lakers free agent, maybe with their non-taxpayer mid-level exception, if they even have it, which will definitely be tough for them. At this point, they have a payroll of $184.9 million, and that's without factoring in Tari Eason, who will likely take between $15, $20, maybe $22 million per year to bring back to their team. and that's if a different team doesn't offer him a contract that they would then have to match. So at that point, let's say that it would take roughly $20 million to bring him back. That would put their payroll at $204 million. And even after that point, they have 5 more contracts that they have to sign to fill out their roster. So simply put, they are not going to have room for their non-tax pyramid level exception, which again is worth $15.1 million. And yeah, that probably would be enough to get Marcus Smart. If the Lakers will make a similar, competitive offer to retain him, maybe that would be enough. But again, simply put, they're probably not going to have it, at least not the entirety of it. So if they want Marcus Smart, they're probably going to have to make a sign and trade for him. And at that point, I think the only other somewhat similar contract they would offer, and one that the Lakers would want, not Dorian Finney-Smith, would probably be a guy like Steven Adams. At that point, maybe they would agree to it, maybe they would let Marcus Smart walk if they don't want to match the contract, if they don't have the money available to match it and simply can't give him what he wants. Maybe that would be a sign and trade option. Sign and trading Marcus Smart to the Rockets for Steven Adams. But at that point, I'm not sure the Rockets would want to do that. Yes, they might want him, maybe less or maybe more than we think from this report, but do they want him enough to give up Steven Adams, who unfortunately is a bit injury prone but very productive when healthy, one of, if not the best offensive rebounder in the entire NBA, and definitely a missing piece of their team? Who knows? Maybe they would, maybe they wouldn't, but I don't see a different option. They're not going to sign and trade Finney-Smith, the Lakers wouldn't want him. They're not going to sign and trade Amen Thompson, obviously that wouldn't be fair. And they're probably not going to sign and trade Reed Shepherd. I don't know if they would go that far. I'm not sure that the Lakers would even want him, given that he would be another small guard that doesn't really fit with what they're doing. Probably not very likely. The only option here would likely be Steven Adams. But hey, even with that report in mind, I don't see Marcus Smart leaving their team. I think the Lakers want him back, I think Marcus Smart wants to be back, I know Luka Doncic wants him back, and I think they'll find a way to run it back together. Whether it be via a slight pay bump with his non-bird rights, whether it be with the room exception, if they go the cap space route, the preferred route in my opinion, or if they would be an over-the-cap team, maybe give him part of the non-tax pyramid level exception. They have multiple options here, and simply put, I don't see a world where Marcus Smart's not back with the team. Yes, it could happen, and this report indicates that different teams want him, a team like the Rockets, but I think he is very high on the Lakers' priority list to bring back to their team. And with that in mind here, those are the reports that we have regarding Marcus Smart, DeAndre Ayton, and Rui Hachimura, which do in fact indicate that they do have outside threats and outside interest for both Rui Hachimura and Marcus Smart. And you know, that's not really that shocking. Following them coming off a great season, Rui Hachimura shooting very well, having a great playoff run, Marcus Smart having a resurgent year, looking like a borderline lockdown defender again, a very capable role player, and simply a great veteran. I understand why, but that doesn't mean they're going to lose them. It doesn't mean that one, if not both of them, are going to be gone, and they still have a very good chance to retain them if obviously they want to, and they can come to a mutual agreement. But hey, those are only my thoughts and what the reports say, and I would love to hear your thoughts about it. How do you feel about the reports on Rui, Ayton, and Marcus Smart? Let me know your thoughts and what you're hoping happens for all three in the comments down below. But I think that'll pretty much do it for this one, and if you enjoyed the video, then I would greatly appreciate it if you dropped a like, subscribe to the channel if you have not already, and hit that notification bell to never miss out when I upload a video. But as always, thank you for watching, and have a great day or night.